So I think for people like that with that level of ability, they don't always think strategically. They think with emotion. And I think potentially this lawsuit, and I actually heard the lawyer for Dwayne say that he actually thought it was kind of foolish for Jakes to file this lawsuit. In legal filing, second pastor alleges televangelist TD Jakes essayed him. A second pastor has come forward accusing popular televangelist Bishop Jakes of decade-old sexual misconduct. Richard Youngblood's claim against the famed preacher were explained in a six-page sworn affidavit attached to a voluminous motion to dismiss TD Jakes' lawsuit against Youngblood's brother, Dwayne Youngblood. Jakes sued Dwayne Youngblood last November after Dwayne accused Jakes of sexually abusing him when he was a teenager. The allegations were made during Dwayne Youngblood's appearance on the Larry Reid Live YouTube talk show. According to the affidavit by Dwayne's brother, Richard Youngblood, Jakes also sexually assaulted him. Richard Youngblood states in his affidavit that Jakes climbed into Youngblood's bed when the two were sharing a hotel room in 1986. He pressed his body against mine and asked, "Youngblood, do you feel that?"
Yo, the voice is crazy. You, sir, right now are wild.
He was referencing his erection that was pressing against my backside. The affidavit states. Jesus.
All right, man, let me start. Oh, before we start,
if you want to be alive,
subscribe.
Let me welcome
the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We got a live show coming. We need y'all to be there so we can chat it up, man.
Let me welcome the people. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Level Larry Leo, where church houses and opportunities in reality. My name is Larry, and this is the Bishop's son, Brother Leo.
Incorrect, but I will put a disclaimer out there, man. I have been greatly influenced and encouraged by Jake's preaching in the past. I'm not saying that he's without fault at all, because all has fallen short of the glory. But I don't know about this. I want to know about this. I don't know. It just, for me, from where I'm sitting, 1986. Okay, he had a lot less to lose back then because I was 1 year old, and I'm almost 40, son. So I find it, pardon the pun, hard to believe.
Oh no.
Yo,
oh no.
Bro. Youngblood, do you feel that? Like that? To say it like that?
Like this and like that and like this and that.
It's like no prelude, no kind of conversation. Just hop in the bed like that? Nah. I cannot.
Like
that's
that,
wild.
That imagery is so disturbing and so gross. It's just like, yo.
Like that though? Like
first, like, we would have had, me and the bishop would have had to fight right then and there.
Squabble up?
We would have to squabble up. we would have to squabble up. But of course, hey, everybody has their own. Everyone has their own desires and boundaries, and their own temptations that they deal with. But this is crazy. But this is a development. We actually did a video about Jake's a couple months ago, and this is basically a follow-up where Dwayne Youngblood's brother said, yeah, the bishop, he touched me too. And this is the thing about what this is the thing about this that he submitted. This is a federal affidavit. This is not like he submitted this to a federal court. Again, and I hear what you're saying about Jake's having stuff to lose, but first of all, Dwayne had stuff to lose too. Like, now he's being sued for what he said. And we watched another commentator provide commentary on this, and he mentioned most churches aren't going to file this type of lawsuit because they know that it's that they can get subpoenaed, and they have to, if you file this type of allegation, then you have to open the books and let us see what was behind the closet
and interviews and all that. But this is almost 40 years ago. And if
okay, we can't, bro.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's stop being.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Richard was incarcerated for.
Not his brother. His brother wasn't.
Was it Dwayne or Richard?
Richard, no. Richard, there's no.
Richard didn't.
No.
Okay, so it was Dwayne that did. Dwayne was the diddler.
Yes.
Bro.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have a different perspective when it comes to Dwayne's testimony than you do. Because I'm thinking about it like this. For someone who knew that his background, his reputation would come up if he did come out and state the things that he stated.
Yeah.
He was forthright about everything that he had done. I think with all of that being said, and knowing the fact that you're going up against a guy who can turn around and sue you, which he ended up doing, I don't see why you would put yourself through that if you knew that it wasn't true. I don't see why you would do that. Even if you say he has nothing to lose, you can lose everything you might have now. Like, why would you want to go and get sued just so you can ruin TDJ's reputation? Like, why would you do that? I think that he did it. I think that he came out with that allegation. That I don't know. I don't think that it was, and it was very detailed. And Richard Youngblood files an affidavit to a federal court, bro. A federal court. You can go to jail if it's a false claim. Are you serious, bro? Like, do you really think somebody is gonna do that if there isn't any truth to that? Filing an affidavit to a federal court? This is not making a YouTube video.
I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. But I'm just saying that take it with a grain of salt.
Bro, okay, let me stop you right there. Because we don't do that with. There's no statute of limitations for females when they've been abused. Why are we treating just because they're dudes any differently?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, bro.
Bruh, don't let your bias talk. Just keep it straight facts.
I am keeping it facts. There are no facts. It's just hearsay right now. It's he said, he said. That's exactly what it is.
Yikes.
To say, young blood, you feel that.
Yo, that is crazy.
And then, bro. Okay. I gotta be careful how I say this. For someone to feel comfortable enough to press their peen against you, there has to be something greater than the power dynamic.
Bruh,
unless this person, let me finish, bro.
Okay.
Unless this person has a habitual condition of using his or her power to do that, then there would be a whole lot more of these allegations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're saying that you guys were all together in a homosexual relationship and that he's hiding it and that y'all would do trysts and meet at hotels and do X, Y, and Z, then I would be more persuaded than to say, hey, I was just his armor bearer and we're sharing a hotel and he unsheathed the sword.
Okay. All of that being said, so it looks as though Richard was a teenager too, I believe. I
thought they were like 20 years old.
I'd have to hold on, let me see if it says.
Look at their ages. Wait a minute. If you're a kid, no.
Right.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So
no, but wait. I don't know their parent situation. But my brother, ain't no way in the world that I would allow my son to spend a night in a hotel room with another man.
Well, that's a different situation. I don't know if that's because it's like you assume you could trust the preacher. Okay, let's look
at their age. How old were they?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Because this is just saying SA. This isn't saying child SA.
Right. But I mean, okay, let's assume a few things. Because what I don't like is in sometimes these cases, we're going to give a lot more grace to women who've been sexually assaulted than we do for guys. Like, that's not cool too, because it could have been a manipulation, because there is a power dynamic in this situation. If he's his armor bearer, there is a level of power dynamic that's involved. So you have to consider that in the situation. And you mentioned that, okay, they may have been in a homosexual relationship. Not necessarily. Because if let's assume this is a female and not a brother. Mm-hmm. So he going up to the sister armor bearer like, hey, sister,
you feel that?
Sister Youngblood, you feel that? That is a whole. It's an entirely different. People will look at it completely different, but it's really similar. A power dynamic. Maybe, I don't know what their high, like how, if they were being paid to do to drive TD Jakes around, or what kind of incentive they received in exchange of doing this. We do remember Dwayne saying that he would get taken care of for the rest of his life, and that he couldn't sleep with nobody. He couldn't sleep with nobody else because he didn't want to bring his wife home. Nothing like that's crazy. But that does sound like somebody who is thinking through a lot of stuff. Like, hey, but it sounds more. If it was a woman in that hotel room with Jake's, you wouldn't think they had to be in a relationship. He might have just woke up stiff and needed something.
Some release, yo, bro. But come on, man. If you like to get in the same bed as that person, that's wild.
But you feel like you have the leverage within the dynamics of that relationship, where you can go and exercise that situation and receive what you want.
Again, I hope the truth comes out. Even if it's against Jake's, I hope the truth comes out. But there's just...
I understand Richard
There's a bridge between we're sharing a room to me jumping in your bed and pressing the peen against your hind.
Oh gosh, that is so just disturbing.
That's a big leap, bro. Shout out to Gay Hendricks. That's a big leap.
Yikes! Oh my god!
My readers understand that pun. My readers understand, bro. That's crazy. In my opinion, I think there needs to be let there be more people come out. Let more people come out. Let more of the truth come out. Let them be questioned. I know polygraph doesn't stand in court, but I need to see more.
Honestly, I'm not. I'm just looking at what is being said and I'm examining it based off of itself in isolation. I don't necessarily need to see anything. Like, at the end of the day, this isn't like a criminal lawsuit. This isn't like anything criminal. I don't know if it could be. It's possible.
Well, it definitely could be. I don't know what the statute of limitation is, but that's why I'm saying if it was a down low thing and you said, hey, then he got into bed and said, hey, you feel that? Then I'd be like, but to say that, I just don't see that leap. That like, hey, you're armor bearing, you're doing stuff for me, you're helping me out, you bring me water, you're doing this.
Can y'all help Brother Leo out to see how this is possible? Because he keeps going back to this, and I'm just like, oh my, I don't know how to explain how this
in my mind, I don't understand taking on that level of risk.
I don't see how you don't understand that. If you're into certain things and that is your temptation, he may not have seen it as a real risk.
I guess so.
And to also tie this in to the Daystar saga, okay. Jake's still on Daystar, people. He's still on Daystar. He hasn't removed his program from Daystar. God only knows what Jake's and Joni's relationship is like.
I don't. From Joni's former secretary's um, account of her as a person, I doubt they have a close relationship.
Please. Jake's is probably one of the biggest programs on that. Joni and Jake's, they have a relationship.
I mean, a professional relationship.
Absolutely,
yeah.
I'm not saying. I don't think Jake's and Joni got that type of relationship going on. That would be crazy. That would be wild. That would be the twist of all twists. Like, oh no, now we got to get Umar Johnson up in this.
Got to stay focused, my brothers.
What Jake's? Because I've seen Umar talk about Jake's. Now he's gonna be like Snowbuddy Jake's, Snowbuddy Jake's, Bishop Snow Money, Bishop.
Wow. No, but I didn't mean one in sexual in nature. I mean like more than professional. Like, hey, look, back me up because I'm one of your old friends. Stick with me. Kind of like the other bishop that we're going to cover from or minister from IHOP that wanted to back Daystar up big time. So jump into that episode and watch us talk about that for a little bit. But yeah, whew. Well, we're keeping an eye on it. We're watching it. We're seeing what develops. But I just now correct me if I'm wrong. So Richard is saying that Jake's pressed up on him while in the room. Pressed up on his backside. So not only did he take down your brother, but he wanted to take you down too.
I don't try to make sense of any of this. I think there's certain things that aren't even worth trying to make sense of. I can't get into somebody's brain 40 years ago to try to figure out why they do what they do. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they
understand completely. But listen. Okay. All right. Hypothetically, as a heterosexual, ahead of them sexuals. You understand? Yo. Crazy clip, crazy meme. Hilarious to me. So, as a heterosexual, let's say you had a side piece, right? And you were kicking it with the side piece. What's the likelihood that you would try to press on her sister?
I don't. Men and women are completely different. I can't equate the same thing. I don't know.
You were just saying to do it the same.
Okay, I understand that, but at the same time, this is a different type of question. This isn't the same as having a double standard when it comes to, okay, there a woman comes out and
but all I'm saying is I think this is just, I believe that you have the ability to draw that across genders. If you are kicking it as a side piece and your side piece has a sister, how likely are you to push up on your side piece's sister?
Well, I'm not a predator. So I can't get into a predator's mind of why they do what they do.
But if, okay, I understand that. What I'm saying is, okay, my question to you is, if Jace is that much of a predator where the urges are that, overcoming, why are we only hearing about him and his brother when this has been out for months? A bunch of people could have came out.
That I don't even like that.
But if you're a predator, how you gonna stop it too?
What I'm saying,
your appetite is
I don't think he did stop it too. I think there's probably a lot more that just haven't come out yet. And I don't like getting into why people come out or don't. That to me is that's not even a worthwhile discussion, because I can't figure out why. There's so many different factors as to why somebody would or would not come out. But for all we know, Jace could have paid them off.
Because I know NDA won't stand against that. Like, you could sign any NDA you want, but you committed a crime.
But at the same time, there's all different ways of manipulating somebody to stay silent. There's plenty of ways.
Okay. But if you're a predator,
I can't even get into the brain of a predator. I don't even know what that looks. I don't even know how to articulate what's in a predator's mind.
A predator has this insatiable appetite for its prey.
Yes, but we don't even know what the root cause of that is. Is it just because they have a sexual appetite, or are they looking to take advantage of a person? Because that doesn't necessarily mean the same thing.
I hear what you're saying, but what I am saying is,
what are you saying?
I'm saying, if I'm knocking one down, I'm knocking them all down.
What?
Bro, if you about that action, bro, whether it's for power or pleasure, you gonna seek and destroy.
Listen,
there's no gauge
at this point. I need Jake's to. There needs to be at least one female to come out about Jake's. Then I won't think bro is just a closet queen. Cause it's just been dudes. Now what? All this traveling you've been, all this money you made, you ain't had one female that can come out against you talking about. I'm sure he wouldn't mind it for his reputation.
No, I think he would mind it
more than the guys.
That would be even more believable.
Bruh.
Because look what's happening to I can't remember the dude's name. There's other pastors when they get the allegation of, hey,
With Jamal Bryant? Hey, one thing I can say I can respect about Jamal Bryant. At least he don't hide the fact that he be hoeing. He don't hide it. He like, look.
The flesh.
I be hoeing.
304.
I hoe.
Bro, I just, again, with all due respect, I need an expansion of these allegations.
I don't. If there is some legitimate things that Jace can say that can dismantle these things, which it is difficult nowadays because of the way the internet works. Like, you can, but I would say, like, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's in court. So Jace did that, which is for better or for worse, because like Homeboy said, when you file those types of things, now you have to be willing for people to peek behind the curtain.
And he knows that. And his lawyers know that when he went to file this.
I think TD Jakes, when he wants to do, it sounds like TD Jakes in this case got in his feelings. Like, you talk about TD Jakes like he is like this strategic mastermind. He's much more of a brilliant sort of, I don't want to say actor, but like he's very theatrical. I don't see him as like this strategic thinker. I know it takes a lot of strategy for him to do what he does. So I'm not saying he's not. He is a brilliant guy, but I don't think that's his superpower. I think his superpower is more in his theatrical ability to communicate. So I think for people like that with that level of ability, they don't always think strategically. They think with emotion. And I think potentially this lawsuit, and I actually heard the lawyer for Dwayne say that he actually thought it was kind of foolish for Jakes to file this lawsuit. But again, I don't know. And I don't, and no one, and I don't care if Jakes has lawyers. They're not going to be able to tell him not to do something.
No, but they'll give him.
Of course, they're going to give him guidance, but at the end of the day, he's going to make his own decisions.
100%. But if you, okay, before we get done, let's examine this. You don't respond, don't say anything. Allegations swirls. People get hyped about it. Oh, this, that. 6 months goes by. Next year, nobody even really remembers. Right? Because a lot of the stuff that's been coming out on Jakes in the past, he's just flat out just ignored them. But he's choosing to address this head on.
And maybe it's just a hunch. Maybe that was
talking about hunching.
Maybe this is exactly what Dwayne was hoping to do. Maybe that was what Dwayne, he was like, maybe if I come out with this story, I'm gonna bait Jake, and he's gonna fall for the bait. That's possible.
That's possible.
He said, hey, maybe this, because Jakes and Larry Reed are not friends. They're probably more enemies than friends. And so Dwayne said, I'm going to go to my enemy's enemy. I'm going to come out with this story, and I'm going to detail it in a way that basically I'm going to force his hand. Because no one else has gotten Jakes to do this.
That's what I'm saying.
And there have been other allegations, other things that have come out. They just haven't been as public. But he's also hitting Jakes right at when Jakes is in a weak spot, probably. The health issue, which happened afterwards, which if you listen to
Dwayne, you're telling it it's a plot. It's
no. Listen. I said that, but if you listen to the lawyer alleged, instead of like having a medical scare, you could have X, Y, and Z because the timing was wild. But I'm not okay. I'm off that. Whatever. The Diddy allegations and then the health conditions. I think Jakes might have been he may not have been in his perfectly sensible thinking. And when you're a man who's powerful, who's able to do, enforce his will in a situation, he probably got sick and tired of being attacked and not doing anything about it. So Dwayne forced his hand and forced him to respond. And then he responds, And now these types of things are able now to surface, which Jake's also has to respond to. This affidavit happened a few weeks ago. We still haven't heard back from Jake's lawyers in terms of their response to this allegation, which means they took their time in coming up with a response. This was not something they could have just easily dismissed. So I am not saying this couldn't. To me, there's way too much smoke for there not to be fire. I'm just gonna say there has to be some level of credibility to what people are saying. These guys are saying. I don't know to what extent, and ultimately we'll just have to see. It's in court now. It's not like this is just social media beef. This is white and black. This is federal situation, and we just gonna see what happens.
You are talking like someone who's never been lied on. And I know you've been lied on, Larry.
I have been lied on. I have.
But what I'm saying, I'm not here. Hear me out.
Not to this extent, though. Hear me out.
Hear me out. I know, but hear me out. If you know you did it, why would you double down on dumb? Unless your name's Doug.
Bro.
Tell me, why would you...
You're asking me to try to rationalize the mind of an alleged...
I'm just asking you to filter it through a average person's frame of logic.
But that is not what we're talking about here. If what is being claimed is true, then what you're talking about an alleged predator. And when you're dealing with an alleged predator, it requires professional examination. You cannot just
I'm talking about, why would you file?
Again, if these things are true, then this is an alleged predator. And if this is an alleged predator, we cannot try to rationalize what makes them make decisions.
This is from 40 years ago.
Understand?
Why not just let it die? Because here's the thing.
And again, you're talking about somebody who's old, bro, and that has been going through a lot. Why are you expecting him to make rational decisions?
But it's not just him. He has a team around him, too.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I'm in my feelings, I don't care what people say around me that's rational. Think about yourself when you're in your feelings, when you're upset, when you're constantly being attacked. Your brain is not...
I'm devoid of logic. That doesn't mean that. No. That doesn't mean I'm devoid of logic. So, okay, let's go back to that lied on situation. Okay. Take an instance when you've been lied on. Tweet that instance to something factual was told, right? Somebody sandwiched a fact between two lies. Okay? And they're spreading it everywhere. They're saying, Larry this, Larry that, Larry this. You have the option of combating the two sandwich lies, but you would then have to face the truth that is in the middle. Or you could just let it die and not give the fire oxygen. What are you choosing?
Depends.
It's always going to be a depend, but what would you choose?
Okay, so you have two two lies that are like their campaigns against me to discredit my credibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the choice to let it die or to face.
But there's a truth sandwiched in there.
That is incriminating.
That is true, but it I wouldn't use the word incriminating, but it's
sort of nuanced in a sense.
It's something, it's true, and it's something that would hurt your reputation, admitting that it's true.
I don't know, man. I think it's there's so many different factors to consider. I would probably try to take my time, get wise counsel, because there's so many different things. Like I remember another guy we've talked about on this channel recently, just I think yesterday or the day before. His name is Prophet Lovi, came out with a statement to his church supporters, basically saying, that he's actually going to sue a lot of the people who come out against him, including the woman. But he said, this is my first time actually, and it's been months that these lies or these things have been coming out about him. Took him a while to figure out what he should say. He said he spoke to his lawyers, he spoke to God, he fasted and prayed, and he spoke to his crisis management team. So I think like there are people, there are experts out there who can help in helping you to make make decisions around this area that makes it.
But at the end of the day, the decision rests on you. What would you do?
Again,
there's
not.
Would you pursue to clarify and eliminate the two lies that they're trying to spread about you, knowing that the third thing or the thing sandwiched in between is the truth?
Bro, if you want me to answer that, it has to be specific. I can't just go off a general, because a different scenario. Okay, if you're saying two women come out and say that I was creeping on the low, because ain't no dude coming out about me. Okay, I'm just saying that would be a lie. Now, if that was it, if it was two dudes, I would be like, I'd be trying to figure out, like, yo, what time did they say I was there? I'd be like trying to come out with some type level of receipts, whatever. And that too, I think, especially nowadays, like for pastors, like it's really important to video yourself with certain people, like not. Like, try to have some level of footage when you're around certain people for these types of things, because people will come out and try to. All
right, let me give you a hypothetical. Okay. Completely hypothetical, guys.
Okay.
All right. You're a young minister, back to you, fresh zeal for the Lord, fresh zeal. Okay. And now, this is the lie that's perpetrated on you. You, as a young minister, here's the truth that they're going to sandwich between it. You hung out with single young ladies into the evening hours by yourself. Mm-hmm. The lies is you were knocking them down, taking names, is the first lie. The second lie is you had a 3-person tango. Right? So the truth is, for this scenario, that you're hanging out late with single women by yourself that were impressionable, that looked up to you, that you had a power dynamic, that you could influence them to partake into sexual activity. For this scenario, this is true. the other scenarios are not true. But in order to say that these two scenarios are not true, you'd have to admit that you were in a situation that what the Bible says, it doesn't abstain from the appearance of evil. Yeah. Maybe you had a young woman coming out of your apartment at 11 p.m. or somebody coming in at 9:30 in the shadow of the night, right? And you're saying all we did seriously was Netflix and chill, nothing else.
Am I single?
You're single, but you'll have a position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a position of power. Okay? But now you're trying to say, no, I didn't partake in the 3-person tango, and I wasn't knocking them down. But yes, I was having and entertaining young ladies late at night.
It's so dumb. So stupid.
Would you let it just go? Hey, this is a complete lie. I'm not even going to try to give this any merit. I'm just going to ignore it because I know I didn't do that.
I know
me to try to pursue saying that I didn't do that, I'm going to incriminate myself and say, yeah, I was partying late. And I put myself in precarious positions.
So, okay, I see what you're saying. It's going to sound bad. It really depends. Like,
I would just let it go. I was like, hey, man, I know I didn't do it. I ain't even going,
It depends on how bad the lie is affecting the bottom line. If all of a sudden I went from my schedule being full to dried up, oh, I'm making a statement. I'd be like, praise the Lord. I've been praying and fasting, and I have been meeting with my spiritual counsel, and I have been repentant. I want to first of all say how the devil has been moving, and what those they have been lies. Which, to be honest, if I'm meeting with somebody late at night, I don't know about you. I'm not meeting with them late at night and ain't nothing.
You're not trying to go for the slide?
I don't think I could do that. I don't know. But anyways,
in this scenario, you did.
That you were just we were just having Bible study?
No, y'all were
watching a good Christian movie.
Y'all were talking, but it never got into the realm of sexual activity. Y'all met, y'all hung out.
In that case, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, okay, I'll come out if I have to make a statement because it's necessary because enough people are wondering about it. I'll only tell people who are really concerned that support my ministry. I don't feel like I owe the world that. Just those who are affected by me, and then I'll let it go. It's not a big deal.
That's all I'm saying. So you'd address your circle,
yeah,
and let the world do what it do. And that's my thing. That's why I'm like, okay, why is he addressing this? When if this person did something and it's going to expose them to a higher level of scrutiny and possibly admitting to something that is less than honorable. That's all I'm saying. Because for you to say, yeah, we were hanging, but we weren't banging. He's like, then people are going to be like, you're saying you were hanging and not banging. I'm not going to believe that. They're less likely to believe that.
But you feel me? He ain't a young man. So he's
but not. But he was 40 years ago.
I don't know, bro. I can't dig into this. I think we've extended.
We ran long on it.
Yo, if y'all rode with us this long,
like, subscribe, bro. We went on a little long. All right,
y'all. Let us know what you think.
Catch you in the next video. Let the debate and comments go below.
Peace.